Hello YouTube, today we're going to be speaking about a topic which I'm genuinely blown away by. This is one of the most devastating things I've seen in a very, very long time, and we're currently covering it on Twitch. And if you want to join us for more coverage like this, you can come over to twitch.tv/inabba, where all these people are right here. And today's topic, as you've seen in the title, is obviously about the Travis Scott situation, where 8 people lost their lives in a crowd at a concert for Travis Scott. And this is one of those situations where you do just wonder, how is this possible? How did this happen in 2021 with so many safety procedures, so many forms of protection when it comes to large crowds, especially massive artists like Travis Scott. Now, if you don't know who Travis Scott is, he's a huge rapper, one of the biggest in the world, probably. I mean, I'm not really a rap connoisseur, but I'd say from my perspective, top 10 most popular rappers, especially right now, and at least 8 people dead after crowd panics at Travis Scott's concert. And I'm quickly going to go through this article. I don't really want to play many of the clips because there have been a lot of videos going around showing what happened, and I can completely understand that, but I understand a lot of you don't want to see that distressing footage. For me, I personally don't want to put it on my platform because ultimately people have lost their lives, and some people in those videos lost their lives, and I don't feel right putting it into a video, so I'm just going to read what is said in this article to keep you all up to speed. At least 8 people are dead and many more injured after a crowd surge during Travis Scott's Friday night performance at Houston's Astroworld Music Festival. I believe around 300 people were injured here. I genuinely can't understand this, but we're going to keep going. At around 9:30 p.m. local time during the 30-year-old rapper's set at RNG Park Stadium, which is estimated 50,000 people attended, the audience rushed forward, triggering panic. The Associated Press reported that of 17 people have been taken to local hospitals, 11 were in cardiac arrest after on-site medical staff became overwhelmed ahead of treating 300 individuals, according to authorities. I think a lot of us have seen these clips going around, and the thing that a lot of people have mainly been disgusted by, obviously the main issue here is how is this possible? How is it possible for there to be such little amount of safety procedures to allow people to become crushed at a concert like this, But the main thing which people have been addressing is the fact that during the performance, Travis Scott seemingly didn't stop singing, he didn't stop performing, and there was one clip which was going around of people being like, hey, you can't blame Travis Scott, he did actually tell people to stop. And I have seen this clip, and I believe we can find it somewhere, but I don't want to share it because it does include parts of the CPR. But basically, there is a clip of where he points out somebody needs help, and then he continues singing, and it's one of the creepiest videos I've ever seen. I truly do not understand what was going through this man's mind. There was somebody on the floor getting resuscitated, and then there was ambulances trying to get through the crowd to get to the people that were dying, and people were climbing on the ambulances, I believe, and dancing. I mean, I know there's this whole thing of our generation's really messed up, but it's attributed to every generation, every generation has messed up parts, but how have we got to this point of where people are dancing on ambulances where they clearly see people need help? It's so unbelievably messed up. And I'm gonna continue to go through this article now. Perth City Mayor Sylvester Turner at a news conference Saturday evening. The youngest to have died was 14. Another was 16. 2 of who were 21 years old. Another one was 23 and 27. These are people who are young. They have an entire life. And obviously, I'm not saying it will be good at any age or justifiable at any age, but these are young people who came to a concert hoping that they were going to have a great time. I saw a TikTok of somebody being like, I just got Astroworld tickets, I'm so excited, and it's just sad. It's just sad. And I think that Travis Scott does need to take responsibility for the situation, and he has addressed the situation, and we will get into it. It is one of the worst apologies I've ever seen, but I don't think there's any way of saying that Travis Scott isn't somewhat at fault for this. He ultimately is the person in charge of this event. He is the brandable person who started all of this. Astroworld is his brand. He is a multi-millionaire who could easily afford some form of high-level security, some people that will stop this. There have been clips of concerts going around around. Linkin Park, for example. There was another one which I can't remember, but there was a lot of clips going around of this happening at other concerts, of where the band completely stopped performing, got the crowd to lift people up, got the crowd to stop pushing forward. And there was another one, I think it may have been Oasis, of where the barrier broke and they refused to play, whereas Travis Scott just continued to dance and sing, and it's one of the most fucked up things I have ever seen. 14 is so young, the kid was barely in secondary school, exactly, and I'm not saying that it's any different with the other people. These are innocent people that have paid to see somebody who they adore, who they love. They listen to their music probably daily, and this is what has happened. Houston's police chief, Troy Vinner, further confirmed that his staff is now engaged in a criminal investigation that will involve its homicide division as well as the narcotics division. He revealed that 25 people were arrested at this event, including 23 that have been labeled as trespassers who weren't authorized to be on property. Now, firstly, I don't think Travis Scott necessarily needs to take 100% of the blame. I think there's a multitude of people here, and I think this is a little bit of a hot take, but the people who trespassed at this event, the people that didn't have tickets and broke down the barriers and ran in without permission, without paying, these people are also responsible. These people should face criminal repercussions. There is justice that needs to happen here. These people knew that they were going into a stadium where the capacity had been breached, and they still came in knowing that full well they are now a safety hazard. They knew, they must have took into their mind that they are coming into a loud, crazy concert. They must know that them coming into this concert is going to create danger because they are filling the capacity. There is reasons that stadiums have capacities to stop things like this happening. There have been crushes, there have been terrible things that have happened in history where people have been allowed into the stadium without any form of security stopping them, where horrible things have happened. You have to ask, what were the police doing? How did the police allow these people to trespass into the stadium? There are so many people here at fault, and I'm genuinely baffled to how this could happen. I've been to so many concerts where it's safe, it's great, it's fun, even though it's a little bit cramped. I mean, I can name countless ones where I've been to, and it's a little wild, but you know it's safe, and I'm just absolutely dumbfounded that this has actually happened. Apparently, there have been other situations where this has happened. Let me try and find it. 1 second. Has anything like this happened at a Travis Scott show in the past? Not to this extent, but it's not the first time people have gotten hurt during one of his shows, and the rapper has a history of encouraging fans to engage in dangerous behavior. His Netflix documentary, Look Mom, I Can Fly, shows people being hauled from crowds at his shows by security staff and paramedics. It also features a scene where Scott runs from stage in Arkansas? I can't pronounce that name. When he realizes police were at the venue, he was arrested and eventually pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct for inciting a riot at the concert. There are so many situations here. One man was left paralyzed after falling from a balcony during and I understand, right? I understand that at concerts, these things can happen. Someone can get injured, It's not just exclusive to Travis Scott for people to get injured, but there definitely seems to be a reoccurring pattern here of dangerous behavior at these shows and incitement of violence. Somebody said Arkansas. I'm not American, I'm not American. I'm a British person investigating. I truly do not understand how this has happened in all the countries, America, the place where they like to brag about it being this amazing place, yet they can't hold security at a concert, I don't know. It's absolutely mental to me. There's a lot of talk about Travis facing criminal repercussions, a lot of talk about other people facing criminal repercussions, and I think definitely an investigation needs to happen to get to the bottom here of what has actually happened. Who allowed this? Who allowed the people who didn't have tickets to get into the stadium? I genuinely don't understand that. Now, I'm somebody that has been to a lot of football games in my time, for you Americans, soccer games, and to get into a stadium, you need to go for a turnstile, you need to have a ticket in your hand or on your phone, and you need to scan it, and then you get allowed through the turnstile. And these are going into stadiums with 60,000 capacity. Wembley, for example, you needed to show your ticket, It's how... So I'm confused to how these people managed to get into the stadium. I genuinely don't know how this is possible, There's clearly some... I'm trying to say the word negligence from the police, from the security. And I think also Travis Scott should have, I guess, had more security at these events because clearly there was not enough. Now, Travis apparently is being sued. Drake as well is being sued. One injured concert goer has accused Scott and surprise performer Drake of inciting the crowd and is seeking £741,000 in damages, which is $1 million, and neither have commented on the lawsuit. Now, the people that were injured at this event, I think, do deserve repercussions. Not only because some of them may recover quickly, some of them may not recover quickly, but I definitely believe that there is a lot of emotional trauma that comes from these events, you know? People have died. I think a lot of people at least deserve refunds. A lot of people deserve compensation, and sadly, I'm not sure that's going to happen. And Travis Scott originally responded to this situation in genuinely one of the worst responses I've ever seen. I mean, you can see it's got 37,000 quote tweets and somehow 384,000 likes, but we are going to get into this. I'm absolutely devastated by what took place last night. My prayers go out to the families all impacted by what happened at the Astroworld Festival. Houston PD is my total support as they continue to look into the tragic loss of life. I'm committed to working together with the Houston community to heal and support the families in need. Thank you to Houston PD, Fire Department, and NRG Park for their immediate response and support. Love you all. Now, firstly, I'll give some credit, even though I shouldn't. At least he has said that he will work with the community to heal, and he said he will support them. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know what support really entails, but ultimately, I have noticed that there is a specific phrase that is not in this apology. It's not an apology. It's more of just a lawyer has written this. There is no I am sorry. There is no word of sorry in this response, you know. This is a PR manager that has written this. You know, this is one of the most corporate things I have ever seen, and it got a bad response from a lot of people. I'm gonna if there is some. If there's like somebody getting CPR here, I apologize, and I'm just gonna put a quick warning before we go into this, and I will blur it out when this goes into a video.
What the f is that? If everybody good, put a middle finger up in the sky. Okay, where my guy at, man? Come on.
Firstly, I have to say, not even to do with Travis Scott, and I'm not really blaming the crowd here because I guess it's a very in the moment thing, you know. But when there's an ambulance coming through, when an ambulance is sirening, especially at a concert, you need to spread apart. It's not difficult. Just move apart and allow the ambulance to get to his destination. Now, I understand it may be more difficult, but Jesus Christ, man. There's people with their phones out. Like, the first thing people decide to do when they see an ambulance is get their phones out. Bro, move out the way. Move out the way.
Yeah, all that. 2 hands to the sky.
This was, I guess, what happened with the security. How is this happening? What level of security have they got? Has he spent fucking $2 on security guards? It doesn't actually seem that there are many people stopping them here. It just seems that a barrier has been pushed over and they've been allowed to get in. I think I can see 0 security guards, and they've just been allowed to get through. People getting them to try and stop, but it just doesn't. It's absolutely crazy, you know. And there's other videos and stuff going on here.
That's okay, real quick. Chase me this door.
It's absolutely crazy. Now, I think this is an old tweet. I think this is, the 5th of May, I believe. Nah, and we still sneaking the wild ones in. And this is like an example of Travis Scott's dangerous behavior. And it's been deleted now, I mean, for good measure too. But it's clear that Travis has never taken this serious, in my opinion. Based on this tweet, based on previous situations, and based on his response, it's clear that he has most definitely not taken this serious. And I genuinely think this is one of the most appalling things. At least, like, I'm gonna say, and this sounds disrespectful to say at least, but like, at least when somebody has died, can you get the fucking balls to address it in a video first? Now, he did after this, I believe this is after us anyway, apologies if it isn't, but he did then come on Instagram and address this. Now, I haven't watched this response yet. I want to do more of like a live reaction to this, and we're just gonna get straight into it. Yeah, let's just quickly play this.
I just want to send out prayers to the
to the ones that was lost last night. We're actually working right now to identify the families so we can help assist them through this tough time. You know, my fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience. And anytime I can make out, you know, anything that's going on, I stop the show and, you know, help them get the help they need, you know?
Now, Travis did stop the show for about a second, and there is this very vivid clip, which I don't think's ever going to leave my mind. I think a lot of you have seen this clip, and some people used it as some deflection. I mentioned this previously, say that, oh, Travis isn't the one to blame, of where he does say there's somebody over there that needs help, and the person does then start to get help, and then he starts performing again while somebody is literally dying on the floor. He starts singing again and going, yeah, with auto-tune, you know? It's genuinely one of the creepiest videos I've ever seen, and this has spurred a lot of crazy theories about this, and I'm not going to get into those theories. I think me covering that, and particularly this video, would be extremely disrespectful, but I can kind of get why some people are spooked to that extent, because it is freaky that there is such little amounts of remorse. It's scary. It's inhumane.
You know, I could just never imagine the severity of the situation. We've been working closely with everyone to just try to get to the bottom of this. The city of Houston, HPD, fire department, you know, everyone help us.
I think he's like trying to cry here, but nothing's coming out because there is literally zero remorse.
Help us figure this out. So if you have any information,
and bro, why the is there a filter on this? I don't know if I can't imagine an established media organization like the Independent would have put a filter on it, especially given that the logo is in red at the beginning. Maybe they have. If somebody can confirm in the chat if this is Travis or not, but why is there a filter?
You know, please just contact your local authorities. Everybody continue to just keep your prayers.
Apparently he posted like, bro, it's... I mean, I'm somebody that covers like apologies and shit a lot, and like making your apology, well, not even apology, because I don't think he says I'm sorry in this. I mean, he may after this, and I will apologize if he does, but putting a black and white filter on a response to an event where people have died and you are definitely partly responsible for is absolutely disgustingly manipulative. I genuinely don't understand this, man.
And I'm honestly just devastated, and I could never imagine anything like this just happening. And I'm gonna do everything I can to keep you guys updated and just keep you guys informed on what's going on.
Bro, he looks like he's just like, he's looking like he's half asleep. He looks like he's just woken up. At least have some assertiveness, man. Like at least speak with like actual intent, something, some emotion. No one cares. Like he doesn't seem to care here. He doesn't seem to care, and maybe he suppresses his emotions. But bro, I don't see a man that cares that 8 people have died and 300 people have been injured and 11 people have gone into a cardiac arrest. I don't see a man that cares.
Love you all.
I don't think sorry was said then. Let me just check. Was sorry said? No. There is zero results here. There's no sorry in this. Could you not just say I'm sorry for how poorly of this event was organized? Because obviously it all comes down to organization and security, and also the fact that he clearly has got a history with inciting these crazy riots at his gigs. And now some people have been mentioning how this is mosh pit culture in a nutshell. I'm sorry, but no. I'm sure there are a lot of people in this chat that have been in a pit before, and they know the first rule of a pit is when you go down, you get picked straight back up. That is the first rule of a pit, man. Honestly, in a concert, I have felt nothing but safe in a pit. Now, maybe that's my own personal experience because I'm 6'2", but I know for a fact that in terms of a lot of music culture, that pits have traditionally got these rules of you get picked up immediately, you know. Mosh pits aren't to blame here. Let's not blame the culture of certain certain pieces of music and genres, you know. Pit culture is fairly safe. Now, obviously, there's going to be incidents here and there, but I don't think that's to blame. What's to blame here are the cheap crowd barriers, you know, the cheap amounts of security. That clip we looked at earlier, there didn't even seem to be any security. It's crazy. And also, in a pit, you are in a circle, right? You are in a circle and you choose to go in there. If you don't want to go in there, you can go back. Please stop blaming mosh pit culture, because there have been so many millions of pits in the past of where it's been absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. But yeah, to conclude this whole, I don't even know what to say. Like, saying situation, it doesn't seem like the right word. It's definitely tragedy. And I wholeheartedly believe that there needs to be some form of criminal convictions here, or at least some form of compensation to the victims involved in this situation. People paid money to see somebody that they love perform, and some people didn't come home. And that's truly one of the most tragic things that you can, that any story, you know. So I'm sending nothing but love to the families of the victims involved, to the people that are still injured, to the people that were injured, or the people that were traumatized. I hope they get the justice they deserve, and I hope Travis Scott does actually provide the support that he has been promising. That is the one bit of credit I will give him in this situation. He has consistently said that he will support the victims, and I hope he does. He will gain a certain area of respect from me if he does give them money and give them the healthcare and support that they need. If I find out that fucking victims in this situation have been forced to pay healthcare bills because they were injured at the fault of other people, I mean, I think people should have free healthcare in every country. If you're paying for healthcare, I truly feel sorry for you. It's a violation of human rights to have to pay for healthcare, you know? It should be a free thing available to every single human being on this planet, just like food should be, just like water should be, just like a warm bed should be. And I know that's an ideal world which we can dream of, but healthcare is a pretty easy thing to do it with, especially when you are a multi-millionaire Travis Scott who could easily pay for every single person at this concert's healthcare for this situation. He should be paying for therapy for the people traumatized by this, and he should be helping everybody to the extent that he most possibly can. So yeah, I'm gonna end it by saying Travis Scott. I mean, I don't usually say do better. I don't think do better is the word here, but please, when it comes to your future concerts, just do better when it comes to actually hiring high amounts of security and people that know what they're doing, and just in general more protective like barriers, just in general things which can help stop this. But yeah, thanks for coming along. I'm sorry if this was a bit all over the place. It's a very difficult subject. Goodbye, everybody. Take it easy, and peace out.